All right, on today's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our small contracts project. Let's have a look at what we're going to be going over today. Now, today I told you that we're going to be inside our Remix IDE, but I'm going to explain to you in a second why we're not doing that, why we're going to be doing some light reading. Yesterday, we actually finished up the entire module for the Buy Me a Coffee Sunday transaction introduction, and today we're going to pick up inside a new module here, which is going to be called Static Call. So in this section, we will be going over static calls. This is our code so far. We move down so I can actually do some reading for you and let you know what's going on while we're not inside the remix. So if we try to compile this smart contract right now, it will probably throw an error. To fix this, what we need to do is use a specific keyword. This is because we are calling a function outside of our contract. This is a price feed. Latest answer is actually, we're using it to call inside of our contract, but it's actually a function from another contract. Now, this is a feature that exists only in Vyper and doesn't exist in Solidity, but there's basically two different keywords that we can use when calling out to an external contract. This is really good because calling external contracts is kind of a security issue, so we want to make sure that we highlight the lens whenever we call out to external contracts. So whenever we're calling a view function or we don't want to change any state of this call, we use a static call like this: return static call, price feed, latest answer function. Otherwise, we will use X call, which is short for external call, which will look like this. So we return static call, price feed, latest answer is the one we're going to use. We could use the external call, but we're going to be using a static call. You could use either or. There's two different ways we could use it. But since this is a view function, we're going to use the static call keyword, like I said, because we're using a view function. We're going to use the static call. Otherwise, we'll use the external call, which means we're going to call the latest answer function, and we're assuming that it is a view or a pure function. What this function is going to do is it's going to look at the functions inside the address we pasted, the aggregator v3 interface function, and we're going to call the latest answers function from the group of functions inside. So what the static call allows us to do is it's going to actually check this aggregator v3 function. It's going to check for all the functions, and if there is a match for the function that we're trying to call, it's actually going to allow us to call that function, which is the latest answer function. Move down a little bit so we can see what else is going on. Now, at that address, we're saying that the price feed variable that we're going to statically call it. We're not going to use the X call. We're going to call it besides or call it anyway besides the static call, meaning we're intending to call a view or a pure function. Now, our contract should look like this. So this is what our contract should look like updated. So it's the same thing, but if you scroll all the way down, you notice that now we're returning a static call price feed dot latest answer as opposed to just returning the price feed latest answer function. So that's why we couldn't call it right now if I tried to actually run it inside of the Remix IDE. But tomorrow I will pull up the Remix IDE and I will show you both versions. I'll show you what happens if we try to call it without the static call. Then I'll show you what happens when we do call it with the static call. But yeah, we're gonna leave it there for now, like I said, because tomorrow I want to show you the two differences. So I don't want to move too far ahead and forget what we're doing. But of course, I will keep you posted every step of the way. For now, it's the Python Papi. You guys stay Gucci.